We are fancied up. Curt shaved. I have on earrings and makeup. And it's because we've got friends in from out of town from our pre-van life days. And we're going to go meet them for dinner at one of our favorite little local restaurants. We've taken y'all there before. It's called the Treasure Camp. It's about 20 minutes away from our house, and it's down here on the beautiful Swanee River. So we're headed down there to see what kind of yummy seafood we can get. But we had a bit of a scare on the way right outside of our driveway. Two young little teenagers, I guess, towing four-wheelers, and one flipped over, and we came right up on it, stopped with a few other people. They seemed to be okay, had their parents on the phone, and so we drove off and left them a little bit, their elbow a little bloodied up, but they're okay.
I think they were using one to tow the other one, which is broken down, and I think they were getting a little wild and crazy, if you know what I mean. And one of the straps wrapped around the tires and flipped the guy over. But in any event, he had a little bit of road rash, but we helped him get the strap untangled and flip the 4x4 up back, and they're on the way.
Yeah,
so
they're back on their way.
As well.
Whew, I bet they drive those four-wheelers a little slower going forward.
I don't know.
I'm happy they were okay, but now we are 15 minutes away from seeing our friends. Woohoo! They let just anybody down here, don't they? Well, as you can see, guys, as soon as we arrived here at Treasure Camp, it was a warm greeting from our friends Scott and Kim. And they had some other friends that are from the area here about an hour away that had driven over to meet up with us. And we had a great time. We sat at the picnic table right down by the river. Our waitress was fantastic. We each got all different kinds of food. I had the blue crab fingers. There were lots of fish tacos going around, the famous palm salad. The food was tasty, but the company is what we were there for, and it was the highlight of the evening. With the sun starting to set behind us, we could not have asked for a better time to catch up with our old friends and meet some new ones. Then we headed back to the house, but don't worry, we're going to see Scott and Kim again in a few days. Now, as we roll into the next segment of this video, I must tell you, huge shout out to Wolfbox. We loved our new dash cam that we put in our Explorer a few weeks ago so much that they have sent us another one to put in our camper van. And honestly, that's probably where we need one more than anywhere else. So let's get to it. We are finally starting to get a master plan together to get the van back into prime road trip shape. She needs some big electrical updates, and she needs a brand new AC before we can officially hit the road. But today, Curt's working on adding in some seriously cool new camera gear. We are hoping to have everything completely road ready by the fall. He's installed the Wolfbox 900 Pro dash cam. And for anyone building out or driving a camper van, a system like this is an absolute game changer. Most vans have a massive blind spot because you simply cannot see out the back windows, if you even have them, because our van does not. This system completely replaces your traditional rear view mirror with a massive 12-inch smart touchscreen display that streams a live, crystal clear feed from the rear camera. The tech on this thing is top tier. It features a stunning 4K front camera and a 2.5K rear camera. Wolfbox upgraded this Pro model with a brand new Sony Starvis 2 sensor and a massive aperture system with 7-layer glass lenses. In plain English, that means the low light sensitivity and night vision on this thing are absolutely unmatched. Plus, it features smart voice control, so you can lock the video, take photos, or switch the camera views completely hands-free without ever taking your eyes off the road. Looking at this screen, I cannot help but think how nice it would have been to have this level of rear visibility when we were driving the van through beautiful places all around the world. But honestly, it's the moments where we had to be completely on our toes due to safety concerns, like when we were navigating through Nigeria, the Congo, or the DRC. where this tech would have brought us so much peace of mind. Knowing exactly what is happening behind your rig in high-pressure environments is everything. When you're trying to squeeze a large overlanding rig into those tight, epic wild camping spots along the river or tucked into some trees, having an extra set of eyes in the back would totally reduce some stress. It even features high-speed 5.8 gigahertz Wi-Fi, so pulling footage onto your phone through the wolfbox app is lightning fast. If you want to level up your van's safety and visibility, this is the way to do it. Now we'll put the link right here on the screen for you to check one out yourself, and all the details will also be down in the video description. So head on over to Wolfbox and get one for your camper van today. Now, Scott and Kim are friends of ours for, I don't know, it's got to be getting close to 15 years. We met them through some mutual friends we had there in Orlando. But Scott and Kim are from Boca Raton, Florida. They have a beautiful home down south on a canal that leads straight to the intercoastal there. And there have been amazing, wonderful memories made in those guys' backyard. But while we were on our adventure around the world, they decided to buy their own camper van and start touring the United States and kind of just getting away from all that crowd down there in South Florida. And part of that plan for them was to buy a home base in a more rural area, not a house per se, but a camping spot that is theirs. It's some sort of a lease program or something like that the camping sites do around the country, I guess, where you can kind of lease forever or buy your little plot there. And when you're not there, the campground will rent it out for you. Well, they drove through this part of the state of Florida, fell in love with the rural nature and the friendly people out here in the country, and decided this was a good place for them to start. And they purchased one of those little private spots within a campground just outside of the cool, quirky little town of Cedar Key. And if you've been following our journey, you know that we've taken you to Cedar Key a few times. And we owe it, it's an own video, a Florida day trip video. But we are purposely waiting because Cedar Key suffered from many direct hits with hurricanes, and they're having a tough, long go of it of getting everything back to normal. A lot of the restaurants along the water just aren't even open yet. But the good news is they are starting to get there. And I hope that maybe by the fall, everything will be back up and running, and we'll take you down to Cedar Key for a proper day trip. But we took Scott and Kim down there to let them get acquainted with their new local hood. Went to Steamers, a restaurant, and had some delicious seafood. Walked down along the dock, picked up some ice cream. Just had a nice, relaxing afternoon with those guys down there. But then it was time to head back and get a little bit more acquainted with their campsite. And this place was really cool, guys. I would say maybe 6 miles from the island of Cedar Key. The place has lots of camp spots. It's very well taken care of. The campsites are really a good size. There's a pool and a bathhouse and all the stuff that comes with a standard campground. But we spent most of the time sitting there with them, just catching up. And their rig is awesome. So Curt has a treat for you right here.
All right, guys, we got lucky today. Scotty's going to give us a little tour of this. What is this? This is a leisure rig, right?
A leisure travel van, rear twin bed.
Rear twin bed.
Built on a Mercedes Sprinter chassis, and we are decked out.
This is a 6-cylinder, right? Like ours. This is not a 4-cylinder.
It's a V6. So this is the previous engine to the 4-cylinder, just like yours.
Which is what they're making the 4-cylinders
right
now.
And we have the upgraded. We have the upgraded dash on this one. Then you have the shift down below, but that's the upgraded dash.
Look at that pretty thing, guys.
And we turn those seats around, and those are our lounge chairs.
Captain chairs. Is that little center thing, is that an add-on, or is that little center console?
So that's that little right there. Yeah, that's just a little collapsible container, and that's Gracie's platform where she rides and sleeps the whole time while we drive.
So a place to put your shoes when you walk in the door.
Little cubby. There was a furnace there, but now that we have a heat pump, there's no reason for the furnace, so I took it out and made some room.
So we got the kitchen here, induction stove.
Yeah, so I took I had a propane stove here, and I pulled it and I put in a Mini Duo induction cooktop.
Oh, nice. So you pulled that out. It was gas.
It was gas, it was propane, and we did away with that because the problem was because it was indented down below, and if Kim tried to put a pan on there, it wouldn't fit. So
Nice.
we went with this, and we're quite a bit happy with it.
That's a big sink. Deep sink.
Deep sink, and then we have
Little television right there.
Where is? And then we have this. Now this is by Pagosa Supply. He does a bunch of different things. So we have, that's a bamboo.
Little sink cover / cutting board,
Correct.
etc. A little coffee pot in the corner, paper towels. And you were saying that's an induction oven?
That's an induction cooktop. Yes.
Induction microwave. And then you added the refrigerator. You changed the refrigerator.
So
out.
yeah, so this is a 2022 model. It came with a 3-way refrigerator, and we purchased it from the previous owner. He had swapped it out to an LG because he did a complete upgrade with 600 watts of solar panels on top. They are Bouge RV solar panels, 100 watts each. He did a 3,000 watt inverter and a 320 amp hour Lithionics battery.
How many batteries?
One, and then I just upgraded it, so now I have two 320 amp hour batteries.
Nice.
And we moved these panels. These are the convenience panels for the inverter and the battery switches. But I didn't like the LG because it's a household one, and I had to rig my own door lock. So I went with the Norcold, which is, and the LG had the freezer inside this compartment, and I wanted something that had
Separate
a
freezer.
separate freezer drawer.
Nice.
So we're real happy with what we got on that right now. Convection microwave.
And then you got your control panel up
Control
there.
panel, so our equalizers.
Smart level, right?
Smart level, that's all Bluetooth operated, so all I got to do is hit a button and it automatically levels. My Truma on-demand hot water heater. These are my tank
So does
levels.
the Truma work off of diesel or
LP, we're all LP driven.
Okay.
My Garnet, those are all my sensors, so fresh, gray, black, but that's also Bluetooth. My Jenny, and that's my combines my two batteries and gives me.
So Jenny's another word for generator, guys.
Genset.
And you got nice overhead storage up above the cab.
Yeah,
Here as
look at all
well.
the storage.
Look at that, tons of storage.
No bunk overhead, which I didn't want. I didn't want a bunk overhead, so we don't have that big bulbous front on it, but
Yeah.
we got plenty of storage.
Lots of storage around. And take us back to the bedroom and the bathroom.
And then this is the rear twin bed model. So not only do we have storage underneath each bed, and then the storage underneath this bed actually goes to the exterior, so you have access to it outside. But this rear twin bed model has the most amount of storage out of all of the leisure travel van models that they have.
And you got another TV back here.
Another
this is
TV back here.
A 2 TV rig.
And we can close this whole back section off, so Kim can be back here watching what she wants to watch while I'm up front watching a football game or a NASCAR race. We have little hanging closet
Wow.
space.
Wraparound storage and 2 wardrobe closets.
2 wardrobe closets.
And this is the bathroom right here.
Yeah, so this right here, so I'll open this one for you. So here's your sink and commode area.
And you said the toilet is a macerator.
That's a Dometic macerator toilet, and we have a macerator discharge when we want to empty the tanks. Max Air fan above.
Wow, nice fart fan.
Yep. And if you come back around this area, although we have, right now we keep our laundry basket there, but that's our, and then
Dual purpose shower.
this has
A stow-it door.
stow-it door,
Nice.
and it's nice and bright in there because
And a
of the skylight.
skylight in the shower, and a skylight in the main sort of living space.
Yep.
Look at that. 2 Max Air fans, air conditioner, generator, 600-ish amps of battery power.
640 amp hours.
640.
And then this actually opens, so this is actually a skylight that opens, and you have either a screen or you have your sunshade.
Sunshade, so you can go anyway. Nice rig, Scotty B. Guys, look at the nice finish on this. Plenty of places to sit, plenty of places to recline. Man, I think we have RV envy.
Did you have a nice walk this morning? What in the world is Curt doing out there, huh? He's doing so many interesting activities. Hi, Leanna. It is a happy Friday morning here at the home base. I don't know if we've checked in from the house in quite a while, but of course, the kitty cats are still loving the catio porch. G had a walk this morning. Vanna hasn't had one yet, but she's pretty content just here on the porch. We've got some bird feeders out, and it took a little while, but the birds have definitely found the feeders. Got a little bird bath. They haven't quite figured out that one yet, but we're making our little bird sanctuary so the kitty cats have plenty to watch. Now, along the edge of the woods out here, G loves to walk through there, but we have a tick issue. There are lots of ticks here in our yard, mainly because the deer. They seem to track them in pretty good. So Curt got out there this morning before it got too hot, which is a whole nother thing we'll talk about in a minute, and sprayed out some poison. And that just needs to dry. And after that, it should be okay if the cats, walk through it a little bit. But they've already had their outside time today, so it should have plenty of time to dry. And we have a few other methods that we're going to take to try to battle the tick problem. Now, don't worry, the kitty cats, of course, have their flea and tick drops that they get on their neck once a month. So they're safe. If one gets on them, it's mainly for us, the humans. Then it is Florida here, and if you do not know, we have something called lovebugs. Now, they have invaded our outdoor space. They have figured out how to get into our porch. They are everywhere, and they have got to be one of the most nuisance bugs that ever existed. Today may turn into kind of a chore/errand day. Maybe we run up to the farm supply store and get some of those different ways we were going to attack the ticks. Because that is definitely a high priority item, is to get those things pushed back more into the woods. It may be a losing battle, but it is one we were definitely going to try. So let's see what Curt has come up with on the front of attacking the ticks. So we're headed up to the local Ace Hardware to see if they have any of the stuff to help manage these ticks. We might still just be in research mode. We might not be actually buying anything today, but we're on a mission to figure out how to get rid of these ticks. So if y'all have any tips, please let us know. We're back from town. Curt did decide to go ahead and get something.
Diamentaceous earth.
So you may be wondering what the basis of this video is. Well, it's not a Florida day trip. It's not a DIY project. We showed you a little bit of life, trying to get rid of the ticks around the house and running into some old friends. But today is a pretty cool day because I am loading up my Aunt Betsy's car because me and Aunt Betsy, we are going on a road trip. And we're leaving Curt behind with the two kitties. But Aunt Betsy has a dog called Boo Boo. You may have met Boo Boo in some of the previous videos, but Boo Boo is going on the road trip with us. Boo Boo's a little girl dog, so this is a girl's trip. And where we're going? Well, I'll tell you, we're headed towards some mountains. I'm going to make you wait to figure the rest out. But today we've got about an 8-hour drive, and it's time to pack up the van.
Hey guys, looks like Snow left me. She's gone to Virginia with her Aunt Betsy. And well, whenever we're separated like this, I always try to get some projects done. Now, normally in the last several years, it's been projects on the van. But today, I have this war going on with ticks. And I have decided to declare an all-out battle. And so one of the things that I've been working so hard on is getting all this cleaned back, pushing up a little bit of the wild back away from the house so we can have a little sort of tick-free zone. So I got up here and cleared out a lot of the underbrush to do that. Now, additionally, I sprayed some biofrin up here. Now, biofrin, for those of you who don't know, is a chemical that does poison the ticks. And after I did that, I thought, well, maybe I should try to find a more natural solution. And to be honest with you guys, my dad was here and I took him on the little trail here to show him through the forest, and he was just covered in ticks. And I know from being out here myself that you can sometimes just walk out here and be covered. And since me and the kitties love to walk in the forest and the nature, well, we just need to get rid of the ticks. And so anyway, I tried some diatomaceous earth because it is supposed to kill ticks, but not be nearly as sort of harsh. Now, both products are safe for kitties. The biofrin must be dry, completely dry, after it's applied to be safe. And I did both of those. And to be honest with you, the biofrin, the poison worked beautifully. I walked in that area and it eliminated the ticks. But once I've gotten out of that area where I just used the diatomaceous earth, I really haven't had nearly as good of results. And it's hard to say if there was really any results at all. So anyway, I have come all through here and you guys can see all this area has been cleaned up. I cut down the undergrowth. I weed eated. I did everything I could to clean this up and to make it look better so we can kind of look into the forest and appreciate this beautiful property that we're staying at. And additionally, it's another mechanism against the ticks. Now, I am thinking about getting some guinea fowl. Now, I don't know if you guys know what guinea fowl are. We saw some in Africa, and anyway, they are used here a lot like chickens, and they are big time tick eaters. So I don't know, I was thinking about maybe giving my hand to try with some of those to see if they can help me alleviate this tick problem. I still have a lot more area out here I need to continue to get cleaned up, and that I need to continue to hammer on these, but I'm pretty excited for Snow to get back and see all this. It really was a ton of work, guys, cleaning some of this stuff up. There had been brush that was piled here from through the years, and so we did a lot of cleanup on that, and then a lot of cutting the undergrowth. And anyway, that was kind of my big project while Snow was gone. I did loads of other small stuff, but I cleaned up the catio a little bit. But in any event, there's always stuff to do around the homestead, and we're going to just keep on getting her done.
The past 2 days, I believe Curt was doing some cool stuff there around the house, getting stuff cleaned up. Maybe at our house, maybe even over at Aunt Betsy's house. I'm not real sure. Because me and Aunt Betsy were on a road trip. Now, we drove quite a bit till we got to our destination. And our first day, we drove north. We got over to I-95, crossed into Georgia, and kept going. Crossed into South Carolina, kept going. And then we drove through Charleston, North Carolina, and ended up spending the night in a little suburb of North Carolina, just north of Charleston. Stayed at a nice little Hampton Inn that is boo-boo friendly. And got a good night's rest. Got up the next morning and got right back to driving. Not quite as long. The first day was about 8.5 or 9 hours of driving. And then the second day we had about 4 hours of driving till we got to our destination. And as we started doing that drive, of course, we started out in Charleston, having to dodge the traffic. But then we turned off and got onto the beautiful winding mountain roads as we started to enter the mountains up here in Virginia and West Virginia. And that is where we are headed. My Aunt Betsy has some property in Virginia, in the mountains, very close to the West Virginia border. And I had never seen it before. I'd seen pictures and, of course, heard how excited she was when she was talking about it. So we've made the trip up here to check that property out. But I'm in her yard right now. And I will tell you one cool thing is we've got 3 apple trees, a cherry tree, and a plum tree here. So we got to see how to get those things making some fruit and kind of just settle in and check out her house. Cute little house that she had someone do a lot of remodeling and fixing up inside. Now, to give you a little context of where we are tucked away, this incredible piece of land is located just about a 15-minute drive from a town called White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. Now, we're actually in Virginia, but we're very close to the border. And if that town sounds familiar, it's because it's the home of the world-famous Greenbrier Resort. So, while we're completely surrounded by quiet, untouched nature out here, we're actually just minutes away from incredible history and local charm. Aunt Betsy's property beautifully overlooks the sweeping creek valley, and looking out over those lush, rolling green fields, man, it is just stunning. You can instantly feel the peace and the pace of a slow life just taking over the moment you arrive. One of the absolute coolest new features here is this brand new swinging rope bridge she had put in. It's a blast to walk across, and it spans right over a deep gully, leading you on a short, beautiful walk through the woods. And what do you find at the end of the wood trail? Well, Beaver Dam Falls. It's a gorgeous, large waterfall hidden away in the forest, surrounded by the most vibrant, peaceful nature you could ask for. It's the kind of spot where you just want to sit on a rock, listen to the rushing water, and forget about the rest of the world. And the wildlife here loves it just as much as we do. It's a total haven for birds, deer, and, being true to its name, plenty of busy local beavers. Now, because 16 acres is a lot of ground to cover, she's got the perfect tool for the job to help out. This great little side-by-side 4x4 makes it so much fun to get around this property, and it's an absolute blast, making exploring every nook and cranny super easy. As we cruise around, you'll see some older historic buildings and classic barns scattered on the land. They are seriously cool, full of rustic character, and they stand as a beautiful reminder of the history of this valley. Standing up here, looking down at the creek and the rich wetlands below, she's been doing a little dreaming about the future of this land. She's actually thinking about adding a few dedicated camper van spots and some beautiful glamping cabins tucked along the ridge right here, perfectly overlooking the water and the wetlands below. I mean, imagine waking up, throwing open the cabin doors, and having this as your view with your morning coffee. I am just so incredibly happy that she found this little piece of heaven. Seeing how happy she is here, it is so easy to see how this property brings her total and absolute peace. But before we leave here, I just want to know, what do you guys think? If she decides to move forward and put in those glamping cabins and open up some RV spots, what do you think? Would you guys come here for a stay? Drop a comment below and let us know if this looks like your kind of getaway. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And with that, me and Aunt B need to pack up our stuff and load up Boo Boo in the car because it is time for us to head back towards Florida. Because, to be honest, I am missing my Curt and my kitties a whole bunch. So we'll see you guys in a few days on some other adventure or talking about some of the cool stuff we did as we were traveling around the world. So, cheers, guys. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And Don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!